Hello, it's Tara again, and this is the third installment on my cozy sweater series inspired by my very cozy sweater. And in the first installment, we talked about why do I make bad decisions. Second installment, how do I make good decisions. Here we are today, and we're going to speak about self-forgiveness and grace. So back in June, I did a 3-part series on forgiveness, amends, and repair. And in that, I briefly touched base on Dr. Neil Anderson's 5 levels of forgiveness, recapping those right now. Level 1 is forgiving others, 2, asking others forgiveness, 3, forgiving self, 4, asking God's forgiveness, and 5, forgiving God. So one of the most difficult places, or the 2 most difficult places that we can fall into trap is that 3rd category of forgiving self and that 5th category of forgiving God, which is very mind-blowing for people to consider at times because we don't believe that he's going to do anything wrong, or we don't believe in him. Either way, it's very difficult to consider. But self-forgiveness, these strategies, what do I do when I sit in unforgiveness towards myself? Shame, guilt, and humiliation just creep in, and they all start dancing around and having this negative dance party inside of me. So self-forgiveness and grace towards self is super, super important to figure out. When I work with people who are stuck in intense emotions or lack of self-forgiveness, when I'm sitting in that same place, a strategy that I use is something I call power questions. Power questions are just these questions that work for us, and there's things that we can ask ourselves in those stuck moments. So one of the greatest power questions when we're sitting in lack of self-forgiveness is, what's so bad about you? Now, when I'm sitting in that spot and I'm despising myself for whatever I've done, it's very powerful to just ask myself, what is so bad about me? Why do I have to sit under this blanket of shame and humiliation and guilt? Why am I stuck on the hook? So trying to just sit there and create some space, that's where this question can be helpful for us. A power position, one of the greatest tools that we know of from people who are in recovery is one day at a time. You know, in this day, how do I live in this day to find grace and self-forgiveness to get through today without harboring resentment towards myself for the past or fear about myself for the future? Presence. And with that one day at a time and that presence, there's this attitude of gratitude, and just gratitude for today, and trying to hone into thankfulness and seeing the goodness in self and seeing the goodness in others. Also reaching out and practicing care towards others, doing things for those around us, not losing hope in the people that we love. So these 3 vital ingredients, that gratitude, benevolence, and presence. So reaching out, reaching in, and reaching up. Those are all things that help us to find our path back to self-forgiveness. And self-forgiveness is just this difficult thing. It's this moral inventory for us. It's this piece about being honest with ourselves about what we are not happy with ourselves for, those bad decisions that we've made, those good decisions that we've neglected, and loving ourselves despite our flaws. What's so bad about you? And in truth, do you know that I worry about those things that are bad about me? It's a normal experience. We worry about these things. We're troubled by our flaws. You're not alone to struggle with not wanting to forgive yourself. All right, you guys. I hope you find some inspiring pieces in this little series. Take care, bundle up, practice good social hygiene, and we'll see you in the next episode. Bye.